Okay, so we just did a customary little sound check to make sure you guys can hear me, guys and girls. So I feel that I've lifted you up. My apologies. Want to be inclusive? Great. Thanks, Gina. All right. So what I want to start off with today is cool. Excellent. There's a new function in Zoom It that I don't have to go to each tab to go and share it. I can just select it and it will show it. So you should be able to see a screenshot with window 1 having lots of lines going to diamonds. Is that correct? Yes, great. Okay. What I'm showing or want to demonstrate is, you can see I've got window 2 shading there. Okay, so towards from a third to the left, all the way across the middle to the right, where the green shading you can see in window 2. And if you look upstairs, you can see that there's a dotted white line that goes from the bottom, the current of the low of the left, the very lowest, going to a high. And what that is, that dotted white line is representative of the M30 current high, yeah? So if I had all those lines on window 1, it would make it very messy. But what happens is, in its movement up to fulfill that the window 2 saying that the price wants to go higher, wants to find a higher diamond, yeah? So you can see in there, we then also have a single white line, not the dotted one. Okay, that's the next biggest line, yeah? And then we have the smaller ups and downs, which is the current M5 high and lows, joined by a solid gold line, yeah? So a lot of times when we're just focusing on one chart and we see the current time frame going down, we might be inclined or tempted to believe that it's going to keep going down, where it's only going down so it can go up because it's part of the bigger action of where the 30-minute wants to go. So this is a physical demonstration of how price can look, and this is off from Friday, so I took a screenshot on the weekend of this, so it's very current. And you can see in its movement up throughout the whole day of that particular day. Probably a Thursday, yeah, because we can see the period separators there and there. Yep. Okay, so in that one day, the 5-minute was moving, working itself up, but at times it could look like it was going down. Okay, so window 2 is what displays to us a continued direction. So to give us a framework that when price does go down, that it's going down, so it can then continue going up. Okay, so that a 5-minute can go down and still be part of what the 30-minute or the 1 hour wants, which is to go higher. Okay, it creates a motion within a motion to fit that. Okay, is there a question there? Okay, everybody's happy with the sound, great. So this is virtually what window 2 is telling us. And what does that help us with? It basically helps us with a jumping diamond. It helps us because by itself, it's giving us a direction, a bigger direction. Okay, now we had some vertical blue lines and they were confirmed, then it will confirm that direction is up. Okay, and the 30 minutes says I'm still going up higher than where I've been before. Okay, so they both help with direction and also destination. Okay, so for a trade, once if we don't have direction, then price can go up or down. Yeah, I'm just going to go back to my chart. Okay, I'm just going to go pull up a pound Aussie. Okay. Okay, over here, direction can go up or down. Okay. Now we have no direction, so finding a destination is very hard, right? Now, if we had a confirmed line there, like a confirmed red, okay, I'm not going to actually just draw it in. So okay, so green, pink, was it blue? What color do I have? Red and blue. Okay. So if that was a vertical line that was confirmed, then what it means is I only have to deal with the down direction, yeah? Because if the red vertical line is confirmed, it gives me direction. It gives me a down direction. Okay? So price wants it. So that's what that does. Okay? So vertical line confirms that the direction's down, and it confirms that this point, if there's a diamond there, that diamond's a high. So I've got two bits of information. I've got A and I've got B. And I have A and B, then I know that there must be a C, and the C is down here because I've got direction. A and B give me direction, and they tell me what it's going to look like. Okay, so although the confirmed vertical line can't give you a price, what it can tell you is that it's down, and you'll know that you've got to the threshold of that destination because a diamond will appear with a dotted line. Okay, it's like me saying, if you've never been to Sydney, you know you're in Sydney when you see the Opera House. Okay, I can't tell you how many pips or how many miles or how many kilometers, but I can tell you what it's going to look like. Okay, so that's what a diamond and a dotted line. It says you have arrived in Sydney. Yep, you've arrived at the current low, current high. Okay, so that's if you have A and B, then you know what C is or destination. Okay, so just going back to our diamonds and stars. Yep. So where the gold lines are would be normally a dotted white, and you wouldn't see the other lines. Okay. So all these mini highs or current time frame highs and lows is where you exit. Yeah. And then once price has done its thing and it's ready to go back in the direction, then we can re-enter. Okay. So sometimes we can get frustrated because it does this, but if we have some framework or something that can indicate, or a few things in the charts, or even multiple charts in different time frames, give us the destination and the direction that it wants to go higher, then we at least be looking in the right direction. Okay, so if we go back to first of all, any questions? Does that make sense? A yes would be good. Thank you too. All right, so So this trade that's progressed since this morning. Okay, so this is the current report lines, which are done from the green section, high, low, and close, and it's projected down. And you can see here, because the red lines are confirmed, okay, the diamond did appear earlier on, and it meant it's minimum threshold. But our window 2, although we can see the yellow line, which is the current time frame, had a couple of lows and jumped, our shading still remained pink, which means price still wanted to go down. Yeah. So if it still wants to go down, because we've got direction, we just look below it. What hasn't it touched yet? Has it touched that? Okay, everything's still pink, you know, center line, not a time frame. Okay, when we have direction, it's easy, especially we've already got report lines, channels. As you can see over here, you know, I don't put the Fibonacci to display lines on the 8-hour report because there'd be too many lines. But from this morning, okay, at this high is the same high that was in the 15 minutes. Yeah. Now, if price has reached an extreme and it's got the diamonds, got dotted lines, it's going to want to come back to average the river center line. Yeah. And once we see it's going to the river center line, if it does poke through it, where's the next target? Fibonacci, yeah, which is around the 1.86175. Okay. So if we've got a direction, we know that we're looking down, and we look down, we see the river center line, we see the Fibonacci, yeah. So from there to the river center line, 52 pips, Fibonacci 63. And this on the M15, you have the same high, yep. And there'll be a post this morning from Tui and Graham that would show us what the report lines are, but needless to say, there would have been probably a reversal line and a pink limit line above the center line, this line, okay? And from there, price wanted to go down, and we started getting confirmed vertical red lines, okay? So once again, even this continuation of this afternoon, when the report line is done, you can see that the S1 reversal, it's about 186.170. So it's no coincidence that Fibonacci in the 1 hour said that. So it gave that. And with the shading on window 2, now that you understand those diamonds that I showed you, you can understand that the shading is from the 3 time frames up, okay? And each of the lines represents one of those, but the shading is basically saying 3 time frames up. If I'm in the 15 minutes, or 2 time frames high, sorry, including the current ones, 3 time frames that we're looking at. So that means we're looking at the 15 minute is actually working with the 1 hour time frame, yeah? Sorry, let me just get back. Okay. So over here, you can see current is M15, 1 time frame higher is M30, 2 time frames higher is H1. Okay. So the shading from window 1 said it still wanted to go down. We're confirmed vertical lines. And if we've got confirmed lines, that gives us direction. Red vertical lines confirmed says it wants to go down. Destinations then are presented either by channel lines, or if we're in a trade management lines. Got report lines, then what report lines are below it. Okay, so center line still solid pink. Window 5's got pink. Okay, so yes, it might look a little bit to what you're looking at, because I've been looking to address momentum, jumping diamonds, first responders. Okay, so in here, it's the same thing as I do in 5, but I take a different slice of information. Because what's the point of having the same indicator, just looking at the same high and low diamonds? Okay, so between them, it gives us another slant of it. In window 2, we're just looking at the shading or the time frame using displaying the movement of the 30-minute. Here, we're looking at M15 and M30 with slightly different configurations. So you can see in window 5, it's starting to go and show a bit of green, whereas window 2 is still solid. Okay, so they balance each other out. So there is a kind of trend, etc., but you'll still be able to enter a trade, so you're not disadvantaged in any way. Okay, so really one of the main things about this is how do we use the charts and the information that's being sent to us or displayed to us or alerted to us. The main get to is that once we have direction and it's confirmed, we don't have to decide whether it's up or down, because the confirmed vertical line will tell us which direction. And once we have direction, and in this case, down direction, then now for M5, even this arrow would have been a jumping diamond, yeah? Because the M15 one wanted to go lower than that. So at this stage, we already knew it was going to go past that. If it's going to go past that, where's it going to go? It's going to go to at least there or more. Okay, so that's really 42 pips. How did that make that leap? Very simple. Let me just, whoops, okay. Change my color back to yellow. Okay, go to the 15. Okay, so you can see these confirmed red lines created jumping in diamond environment for the 5 minutes, yeah? And I put one there because this would have been that yellow diamond that was in the 5 minutes, okay? And these are definitely things you can do yourself. Now, and that, I'm just showing you a nice, easy way of utilizing, okay? So if when the 15 also got confirmed with vertical lines, you know, it said it wanted to go lower than that because on the 15, it still hadn't reached its promised diamond. Yeah, it didn't get a diamond yet at this point. So when price went up here, which is it's just an arrow on the 15, but it's a diamond under 5, really virtually we could have entered on there. We could have asked the question on that diamond or on the arrow, because price was already been indicated to us that price is going to go lower than that, yeah? And when you actually do place a trade, step 3 is to actually put your trade management lines. And one of those lines you're supposed to put on the channel it's going towards. Okay, so once again, everything is framed around destination. Once I get confirmed direction and I know which direction to look for my destination, and one of the destinations is always the opposite channel, yeah? And maybe, and even beyond. Does that make sense? Do you think that's a useful bit of information that you can utilize pretty much straight away? Great. Okay, so sometimes we tend to overcomplicate things. So even though my little picture looked complicated with all those, looks busy with all that, that's why I don't put it on there, because you don't need to have all that. But what you need to do is actually be able to see how, when it wants to go up, it will come down to go up, yeah? And how do we take that characteristic and then display it so we know what's happening? Because if we know what's happening, then we don't stress, we don't freak out. And based on knowledge, knowledge is king, yeah? Knowledge makes you calm and lets you create good habits. And then from the good habits comes great results. Okay, so, and that's what we are, you know, like in this way, when you've got a confirmed higher time frame that hasn't reached its potential or promised diamond, then it's and that definitely creates a momentum that and a desire to go and reach its promised direction, which then automatically creates a jumping diamond environment, doesn't it? Now, what the M15 is doing for the M5, the H1 can do, or the M30 can do for the M15. Yeah. So they all work with each other, and it's just a matter of understanding what you're looking at and what it's trying to tell you. What the charts are mainly trying to tell you is direction. Yep. And then to be clear on direction, it gives you an alert, a vertical line, and it says, please confirm me, because when I'm confirmed, I can confirm direction you should look for your destination. Pure and simple, that's what it's doing. And once you're able to confirm it, and you know it's going to go down, it's amazing once you look down, and if you've got a framework of habit of doing the 8-hour session report, they'll present information there. Okay, so we do have some screenshots. So I'm going to go to WhatsApp and show you what things look like this morning before all this unfolded. Yeah. Okay. I'll just go back to this morning. Today. Okay. Nearly there. Now you can see why I really do. It's a lot easier for me to work with when there's postings, because we can get so much value from it. Yesterday, day. Okay, so hopefully you can all see the 8-hour report that was done this morning. Okay, so you can see price hit a high. Okay, it started trying to draw red lines, etc. Now, once we get a confirmed red line, where's price going to go? Really, the pivot line is going to be a definite destination, isn't it? Because there's nothing, that's the first point of attraction. Once we get a confirmed down direction, which a confirmed red vertical line is going to give us, first place is going to be the pivot. Get through that, green limit line, and then the S1 reversal, etc. Yeah. So this morning, just working on that, and then you have the 1 hour wanting to touch back to its pink, to its green center line. Okay, so if it's reached an extreme, it has to touch base, and that would help support price going to at least the pivot. Yep. So okay, yep. Okay, so over here you get the multi-chart. Yep. So price, there's an extreme diamond in every time frame. Okay, so it's pushed up a little bit first thing this morning. So what's it going to want to do? If it wants to go up further, it has to come down. And then when it comes down, doesn't mean it's going to go straight up, but we've got a there, and you can see on the H1 price was around the 323 level. Okay, and you can see the green center line is at 261. So really, there is a, if it's gone to extreme, it will want to come to average. So here, first in the morning, you've already got a reason why M30 and H1 would like to do. We can start to see a little bit pinker window 4. Yeah. Okay, so over here, we can't see the above the R1 reversal or the pink limit line. So I presume that's just above that. Okay, so they're providing resistance. Our price wants to go down and we get confirmed vertical lines. You can see exactly where it's going to go, yeah? Okay, so, whoops. So you can see really, if we don't get too overwhelmed and we're able to just see what direction, after we've done all our habitual things, 8-hour report, refresh the charts, etc. And then once we've got a direction, and some vertical red lines and some highs and that, then we have a direction. And once we have direction, really, we've got enough information then for destination. So we've got direction, destination, and the reason why it wants to go there. Then the trades really give themselves up without much of a fight. Okay. So yeah, so your trade management lines would have kept you quite okay. So over here, 20 or channel, so 20 pips is about where this diamond is. 40 pips is just about where the channel is. 2 for 1, 3 for 1, it's at 60. 80 is 4 for 1. Okay, so you can see a trade in the morning could have given a return of 4 to 1, and it was supported by other time frames. Okay, so drawing these those yellow lines, what they do when you do that is you're providing destination, the price would like to go to, yeah. Okay, and when these start matching up with your report lines and your Fibonacci lines, then you know that these are all destinations that price is interested in. Okay, so if it keeps on to go down and it's already reached one level, and then shading's all there, it just wants to get to the next level. Really, it's okay. I think that's a fair amount of information. Yeah. Any questions with regards to? No. Okay. All right. So sometimes we just need the main question is, or if you ever get a direction or a destination, if you've got a destination and it hasn't been confirmed yet, but you can see a clear destination, then you'll find that the charts will do what it can to then provide you with a confirmed direction. Okay? And then when you get a confirmed direction on the charts or in multiple charts, it'll show you the destinations. So direction saves you from looking up and down. Okay, that means half your work's gone, and really if you had to look up and down, you're going to be pretty confused. Okay, so we're able to go and halve that and says, hey, just look down, or hey, just look up. Okay, so that's what your friend who confirmed line does. It says, hey, just look down, or hey, the blue one, just look up. All right, and over here, the 5 minute could be doing a look up, but as you saw from that picture that I showed you, it can still give you that little up because the price wants to go down, it needs to go up, and in that movement, we can still get 20, 30 pips because, okay, that's 40, 43 pips from there. If it was confirmed, yeah. Okay, so once again, you may not have entered it. A lot of times, these candles are quite big, and yeah, it's probably around the 6 o'clock, so it opens. So there's a quick rush of movement. But a lot of times, you're able to take that. It'll be stretched out over several candles, moving up. Okay, so I'll just show you that picture again. Yeah. So you don't have to, have that focus in that, but just understand when price does that, a lot of times, it just looks like that. Yeah. But overall, we can get a direction and momentum, then makes it our job a lot easier. Okay. So some of the things that are on the pipelines. I think I've already shown you guys this before, but probably a little bit further down the track. Okay, so one of the things is, to get the same information without using excessive CPU. Okay, so normally I have these two rivers drawing the lines. I can actually delete them and still have the lines because I've got a smart indicator down here that actually draws the river lines if I want to, because inside it, it has river 1, R1, R1, R2. Okay, so it's capable of drawing the same river lines because it's actually has the equation and the logic inside it. And it's a supervisor indicator. Okay, so like how you would assess and ask 6 questions, about window 1, window 2, window 3, window 4 and 5. It's window 3 and 5 both pink, blah blah blah. Well, this can do that too. Okay, so it's a supervisor. It's not as good as a human being, you and I, but it's a couple of notches below, but it is capable of doing that. And how it displays when criteria is met, it actually draws a different style vertical line. So underneath there would be a normal river line. Okay, but when it's drawn like this, that means the assessor says that the criteria has been met. Yeah, so that means everything lined up. Yep, and here you can see that we had these. Well, let's refresh it because those lines mightn't be there. Okay. So what that does, it frees me from having two indicators. Now I've got one. Yeah. Okay. That's okay. Yeah, it's taken a little bit of time to refresh itself. Okay. Let's go back to it just to see if those lines are there. So yeah. So virtually, yeah. Okay. So these lines would have been drawn by the river, and would have asked the questions of the assessor, and would have said no. But sometimes we get a bit, we'd like it to be a trade, but it doesn't. Okay, so we actually don't even need any of these ones if we don't want to, but of course they're going to be kept there because as a manual supervisor, you need to go and use it. Okay. So as you can see, it does filter it. So, and it needs everything lined up. When everything's lined up, when all the criteria questions are lined up, then for as long as that criteria is lined up, it will provide a histogram or shading in the color of the direction. Yeah. So this is, yeah. So one of the things that's is been working on, and once again, why? Because I can either just get the alerts from this indicator, which is the different styled lines, or I can come to all those lines. Now, a lot of those lines can still be trades. Yep. Okay. But once again, it's just better use of time. Plus, you can still ask the questions, and you'll find that when those lines are there, criteria is going to be met. So once again, it's just allowing you to double check, and for it to have a cross check on you. Okay, so yeah, voila. So I think that really comes up to the end of the night. Now, yes, some of you are saying that my charts look a bit different, and you're quite correct. Okay, your charts currently have the settings and the numbers are a little bit different, but as well, it only uses the time frame, one time frame higher. Okay. Now, with being able to go and have window 2 and window 5 using the same diamond indicator or the zigzag check, we're able to do a little bit more. Okay. So once again, these updates are tweakings, so you have less decision making, and it would be more black and white. Yeah, it's getting the software just to do a little bit of extra work, and it doesn't mind doing the extra work. Okay.